Welcome back to StarSeries iLeague CSGO Season 7 Finals. We have had two explosive maps from NRG and North, and we'll be moving on to the third and final one. Train couldn't really find a better map, I think, for these two teams to find themselves on. It's been such a close clash so far, and for both teams, James, I can think of so many talking points for, Let's look at, Valde, for example, on those crazy train clutches, like walking around all the trains. You can't find someone that plays those spots better, I feel like. Having the powerhouse Cirque, he's finally, with a 31, I think, in that last map, really starting to come into his own in this series, starting to wake up. That's devastating on train as well. So many different elements that we at play in this one, and it's hard to say who's going to take it.
It's a great time for Cirque to come alive. If we go back to the first map on Inferno towards the B bomb site, there were some close range flicks that were missed. Then going to Dust 2, some close range headshots with the scout, some jumping headshots, some long range, medium range. He was all over the place. So moving into train, I think he is in a really good spot. Again, the talent here at StarSeries are 50-50 in terms of North and NRG taking this series, and it's been very 50-50, I feel. It's been very 50-50 so far.
I'm still sticking my guns, James.
Remind us, who did you pick?
NRG, of course.
NRG, yeah. I favour NRG. I think they're a stronger team, so over a longer period of time they should perform better. But again, it has been a very shaky first game for both of these teams so far. The knife has come and gone. We'll soon see who starts on the CT side. Yeah, I think there's I think if NRG, I didn't even see who won the knife, but
I did not know that.
If NRG, if they start CT side, I think they're in a very strong position.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing here for me is that it's just been really weird because we felt like, NRG, the individuals across the board look just generally better. Then it just turns on its head in the following map. It takes a crazy performance from Cirque to do it. But for me, I'm going to go with Cirque and his ability to just hit heads with the scout actually in this one. To actually edge it, because it is coming down to the individuals. Both teams pretty tactical, making good calls, and we'll get North on this T side. So Gade, he started off the last map with 4 kills in the pistol. Let's see if he can top that.
Good start for Cirque. Again, he definitely warmed up. Nice one tap from him. No concern there, but this is still anybody's. Breeze is making it NRG's, it seems. Valde, last man standing. His gun can be spotted. Now, Breeze could have shot his hand there, but he's going for the headshot to close this one out. Might as well tap him a little bit at this point, and he will be finished off. NRG indeed starting on the CT side, winning the pistol as well. Cirque has the luxury of almost all the angles he wants, and that is a dangerous factor for North. Of course, we've set these storylines out on Inferno. We've seen NRG countering North on North CT side, but again, every map has gone close. So nothing is guaranteed in this series, that is for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Scout on Cirque once again. Hopefully we will see some highlight stuff from him, although it will be Daps to make contact with the MP9. That's going to be juicy. Will likely go down if they rush him, but he should be able to take a few with him. And with that bonus money, surely make up for it. They will make their presence known, and okay, well, this is actually looking really good for Daps now because he's got quite a favorable position with cover up high, the Molotov down low. It's all gone very well for NRG. 2-0 very quickly, and AKs will come out, and this is going to be an interesting one because NRG have to go aggressive with their MP9s.
Yeah, I think we could note that Daps was very conservative with his bursting. With the MP9, doesn't want to run out of bullets and be completely exposed to all those players, especially with Cirque from long range, tagging them, maiming them, making it easy for him to finish them off. So just bear that in mind if you're in that situation, people at home. 2-0 indeed for NRG, and we'll see what they choose to do with these grenades. Maybe some Molotovs into the main position, they can push behind them. Kaden waiting for an aggression around the B area. Now, Ethan is very close to the main position, but he's moving towards Pop Dog. And can we congratulate him for changing his name to the right way round? That is fantastic stuff, and he can celebrate with a kill up close in Pop Dog.
That's perfect too. Again, it's that bonus round here for the CTs. You've got to make those aggressive forward plays work with the SMGs, and that's how they'll be doing it. Though he is quite low, but you can see he will stay alive, and he's got utility to play with. And Kaden will dispose of the AK-47, which would have been perhaps recoverable in the forward position where it was. AZ once again back to the Krieg shenanigans, looking to see if he can find some heads of course, it is such a good weapon to try and open up a map with that. It's cool as well because unlike an AWP, you're a bit more mobile with that gun as well. It's a bit more versatile if you're up against a sudden surprise close range. So we'll have to see whether or not he can get something from that. They really need a pick. They are running out of time.
35 seconds on the clock. AZ smashing some windows, probably smoking towards the IV position. Really important to control that if you want to plant the bomb on the A bomb site. And indeed, there is a player there in Valde. 24 seconds now. They're really running the clock down for themselves, North. Slowly creeping in. The bombs by E-Box has got to go further. We start to see the frags come in for both sides. Kiabi's in the red. North are in trouble. The bomb has to get planted soon. 10 seconds now, and they won't get really close. I mean, physically, yes, but realistically, no. 4 players surviving for NRG. And that's a great start for NRG. They've got Daps on the MP9. He won't be terribly concerned. The opponent's on Eco anyway, so it's just another money-making situation.
Yeah, there's only been 3 kills in 3 rounds for North. That is pretty rough. That is really rough. And I think 2 of those came in the pistol, so ouch. That means money in the bank there for NRG, and Cirque is quite poor, but it's because he's just picked up an AWP. NRG with a perfect start so far. Is Dap still on that MP9 that will pose a threat to this pistol rush. They don't have any helmets. And once again, this Daps and Cirque combo has been pretty successful towards B so far. You can see they're playing passive positions. They're happy to allow a plant. They just don't want to lose money themselves by dying. And it's so easy to nuke the bomb site. And you can see already Cirque has started things off well with the AWP. Smokes will cut off the CTs, but Daps is getting close with the MP9 again. No helmets here, but Gade will still find the frag. Up high goes Cirque as he picks up one as well. There's only 3 North players, but this could get a little bit awkward here. What? Oh no, it could have been so much, James, but it was so little.
I was wondering if he would maybe try and go for a knife, but the situation did not present itself. I think the NRG player realized that he landed on somebody's head, turned around. You saw Daps there. He considered going to try and stop the bomb planter, but he chose to avoid the variance and just go for the retake rather than risk A dying, B giving a weapon away. Died anyway, but again, it doesn't really matter too much because SMG and round 1, so no harm done really as far as NRG are concerned. A big round for both sides, Cadian and Cirque with AWPs. If NRG win, I'm sure they'll pick up an opportunist second AWP if the situation should arise. But dealing with Cirque, what angles do you choose to peek? Where do you expect him to go? Very dangerous situation for North.
Very dangerous indeed. The Creek close range not doing the damage, but Tarek there to follow things up. He knows he has to check the right as well. Very awkward, isolating the player to peek him out of Pop Dog. Tarek's movement here, very good. Throwing nades up, 1 HP. How is he alive for so long? Eventually, he will go down, but he did delay them for just a little extra time. And there is a flank coming in Breeze, and that could be everything in this position. Let's see what he can find here. I don't think they have any idea about this. These CT's positions are really powerful, and you can see they start to initiate the trap. Breeze picks up one. How do you plant the bomb here? Gade in the 1 versus 3. The youngster of the team as far as playing experience, and he'll get finished off.
Well, the money is not fantastic for North, and indeed, Tarek's back. 8 for 1. Not bad. Breeze 5 for 0. And the NRG are 5 and 0. So they haven't really been tested too much just yet. Cirque A has got 8 kills as well. So people are popping off for NRG early on, and that's a pretty good situation for them. North have got a buy. Most people have got grenades. Sailing through to the main position. 2 HEs. They do next to no damage though. Breeze has a quick look, shows some presence upper B. That may slow North down a little bit, or maybe not. Cadian just flying through, taking some pre-fire pot shots. You can spam that wall and hit people through it. So you've got to be careful as a CT, but now what? North don't have any terribly significant map control at the moment. Tarek with an aggressive play towards A main, while all that presence was shown up at B, and there's no response for North.
Yeah, and we can all remember the times when Tarek was playing on Cloud9. They had a devastatingly strong train game in their day. North trying to go for plan B, which will be to the A-bomb side, but 2 players towards Ivy, 2 players towards T main, perhaps. They do have to retake T main. That's the difficulty here if they want to make this split work, and you really do need a split. It actually looks like Gade will go towards Ivy, and they'll leave just AZ on T main, and this is pretty tough to deal with, honestly. I think the CTs have such good cover of this. It's going to take something special here from North to make this one work out. I'll throw the nades forwards. Cadian will try to open things up here. 30 seconds. This has to be perfect moving forwards.
Bomb has been dropped. Breeze creeping around the smoke. Chooses back to bait. Then looking for a second play. Then lots of pot shots through the smoke, but look at the success. There's just no answer, really. Or now there is AZ trying to do work from A main, but there's 12 seconds. The bomb won't get planted. It's all small damage, really. Timeout victory for NRG. 6-0. 2 kills. They'll be fine with that. A clean sheet is the most important thing for the time being. DAP sitting on almost $13,000. Again, with that new economy, they can have a string of round wins, and if North can keep costing them money at least and then win a round, who knows what happens. But with 6 rounds already on the board for NRG, they're in a pretty comfortable position, I think we have to say.
Yeah, it's really comfortable. Everything they've tried has just worked out just really well. Like, the aggressions have been really favorable for them in the results, at least, and North can't really find an opening in the round so far. They are going down into disadvantage every time. They're struggling to get many kills on the boards. Only 4 kills, I think, in these buy rounds altogether, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 at most. And you can see it reflected in the money of NRG. It's growing so much due to the lack of damage. North need to find a new approach. Considering the way that they've been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see a set piece onto one of the bomb sites. They may want to open things up slow so you don't run into counter grenades. But if you want to start running fakes later on, it's usually wise to not start with a fake. But that's kind of the status quo. We'll see how it goes here. Forward positions here from NRG, keeping the pace high. And Tarek's in Pop Dog again, and he needs to be pushed out of this position. They may just go for a quick B play, though. They don't have any nades at all, James. They have to go contact.
Someone's got to take a bullet for the president. But who is the president, Dan? That is the question. Protect the VIP. Maybe it's the bomb carrier, AZ, for the time being. Gade's taken a bullet, but to what Gade flying off the balcony again. Getting some wild kills off a ladder in Pop Dog. And now that, the side plant, the brazen plant, but it's not going to work out. Breeze wipes out. They get bleached. No sign of them. No trace on the B bomb site. 2 kills. No plant. No nothing. 0 rounds for North.
Yeah, they just went for the contact play. No, leaving themselves with no utility to work with as well. Nowhere to smoke the cross there to prevent Cirque from just getting a free kill. Really difficult spot. I mean, honestly, that's not the worst ever because, as we saw, if you have an AWP that can trade Cirque, it can actually be kind of favorable if you get rid of that AWP straight away and just sacrifice one player for it. Either way, it just does not work out. 7-0. NRG look unstoppable at this point. Down to pistols again here for North. Cirque up close and personal with the shot, I'd say shotgun. It effectively is at that range. However, Cirque will go down. Just a Deagle and Gade left. He's found his way to that connector. Can he get anything out of this, though? He's actually in the center of the 4 CTs.
I wonder if he's been spotted because Ethan is more or less focused on this position. There he is. There he goes. 8-0 for NRG. North, where are you? You can't run out of gas now. I did think it would be difficult for them on the T side, especially if they started there, but I didn't expect it to be like this.
Yeah, honestly, I can't recall a round where it started off well at all for North. They don't have any opening picks or anything like that.
No one's got more than 3 kills for North. Breeze has not died once. He's in that Lazarus pit. He's Shang Tsung. Who's the guy from Batman? It's not Shang Tsung, I know that much. Who's the bloody guy in Lazarus pit? Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, there we go. There we go. But also, I'll throw Shang Tsung in there. I'm a Mortal Kombat guy.
Okay, well,
before anyone tweets me, I didn't think Shang Tsung was in Batman. All right, just chill out. You never know, though.
Ooh, Breeze, he looks mortal once again. He bleeds. He bleeds, he can be killed. He'll fall back to the bomb train, leaving Ivy alone for now. And in fact, they're going for... I like this a lot from NRG. They lose Ivy. They're like, all right, we'll take over T-Main. We'll take over Pop Dog. That's not a bad look. Daps can always cycle back through CT spawn to cover the back lines of the A-bomb side if necessary. And North are going to try to creep out 3 players through Ivy, 2 from T-Main perhaps. If the T-Main hit comes at a good timing, this is often can be very strong.
All right then, North, is this your first round? 4v4, Cirque is in a battle sniper position. He's flashed off. I don't think they realize where he's at. Distraction being run from a Pogdog position. No trade needed. Ethan will deal with it himself. 30 seconds remaining. There's one player towards Ivy carrying the bomb. That's Cadian with an AK-47. No sniper for him. And I think he's waiting on Kiabi to clear the site the hard way. Spotting one player towards main. There is a frag for him. 2 plays and pop. Even if he kills one, there's no way he checked for the second. But the Molotov may be that master stroke. Spots Ethan jumping past. Ethan's in already. Can't repick that situation. And now the bomb can get planted.
Yeah, that Molotov really, really saved the day there. And here it goes, NRG going for the retake there. They've already pushed out of Pop Dog straight away. Cadian in a good position, but against the players creeping for Pop, it's not so fantastic. Ethan and Kirby, well, Ethan will take down Cadian, and Kirby will also go down to Tarek. And that has, well, that was as close as they've come. Got a bomb plant. It was labored, though. It didn't start out very well. Oh man, I can't. I'm just trying to find, you know, some round in my memory where North have had some level of success, but it's often not really gone like that. Ethan doing great damage from this position from Pop Dog, and that's really been a problem. Pop Dog has been a huge problem so far. Tarek and Ethan around those positions.
Yeah, not just Pop Dog, but main as well. We've seen some aggressions there with grenades. We've seen some aggressions from Tarek, and there hasn't been a response. And such is the nature of Train. It's hard if you're not through the choke points to really get a trade in a lot of situations. We've got smokes towards E-Box. Plenty of angles taken away for the CT side, and Kabi has made his way through, so perhaps he can take the CTs off guard. He has a shadow advantage. He'll see the legs first if Tarek goes too far. There was a shadow. He spotted that. He thinks he's gone up. Maybe Tarek has an advantage now because Kirby thinks he's up top. The elbow spotted. They just need something done.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? That's a bitter one to swallow. Oh man, from our perspective, we really can feel for Kirby there that he's really just been sold out. Tarek not realizing that he had outplayed Kirby there with the shadow. And now again, North trying to play from disadvantage on their T side. The loss bonus doesn't really matter if you can't win a round. And North have 40 seconds left. Gage is holding on to Pop Dog here. They're going to go for it. What can they accomplish? They have to hit the shots, and it's been Ethan all day around these positions. Valde picks up one, but it might not be enough here. 20 seconds to go, and the trades come in. 10-0, it's a clean slate for NRG into this third and final map. Ethan's died but once so far. Breeze only twice.
Yeah, Breeze has cooled off, man. He's died twice in this half. I can't believe it.
Look at the money as well. Everyone's just got so much cash in the bank.
I'm not sure if this is the first tactical pause we've had from North. With 10 rounds in the bag for NRG, there's no point really commenting on the stats on the North side because ultimately they've got 0 rounds. So it doesn't really matter at that point. They just need to win some bloody rounds.
Yeah, it's not a good look at all. It's just so the hopelessness of it all as well. We haven't seen any straight up set pieces. Like, you know, you play a delayed default. You play a default. You make sure Pop Dog is any players there are pushed back, so the CTs can't be there. You make sure that they don't have team main control. Maybe you take control of Ivy, so you can leave a guy there potentially to threaten a lurk later in the round. Then you go for a set piece onto the A bomb side or the B bomb side. You know, whatever it is. Maybe it's a fake. Maybe it's not. We haven't really seen anything like that so far from North. And the way that they've been trying to pick has not worked out. NRG has just been so on point.
North have MSL levels of grenades on a pistol round. But do they have MSL levels of execute behind them? That is the question. Moving towards the B-bomb site, giving no sound cues away. Grenades start to be lined up. In rounds such as this, you often see a HE over the top from the CT side, and it's often devastating. But NRG will focus on the guns for the time being. Cirque rotating, waiting. He's going to hold an angle for people moving over towards the bomb site itself. That's don't want to fire all your bullets. He will get punished though anyway. Completely blind, unable to escape. Now North have made inroads towards the back of the B bomb site. Breeze not quite sure where to look right now. Cirque has many angles to deal with as well. No smoke's quite the problem, and this could yield a round for North, or maybe not. He had to find a kill there. This is a disastrous round for North, as good as it looks. Just a one frag. They needed the round. The bomb plant's just not enough.
Yeah, the bomb plants don't mean anything at this point with so much loss bonus accrued. And well, I mean, that said, you know, they had obviously a half buy. Actually, yeah, so it doesn't mean anything. It's hard to, I'm like trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just more darkness. North, what can they offer up here? They've got AZ back on the Krieg, Cadian on the AWP.
Chewing your nail is normally an indication of nervousness.
Yes.
It's 11-0, man. Chill out. Also, stop biting nails. Gross. Said it from another nail biter, not from nervousness either. Even more aggressive. Breeze is taking liberties.
It's just, look, these positions are pretty nuts. Look at Tarek and Zerg just sitting on the ramp there on A. NRG trying to get ahead of the game here, trying to predict what North might do differently this time around. And hey, they didn't do anything towards B, but they could use that opportunity, having two players there, to just push it. And Zerg picks up one. He's been just devastatingly good.
With the AWP, they pushed up upper B, and they've fallen all the way back to connector. And again, you can't respond to it. HE grenade will do 0. North stuck behind a smoke with 3 players towards Ivy. Minute mark and 1 moves back. Gate's been taken down towards Popdog in the meantime. Kiabi's made his way through through Ivy, sorry, but they know he has. He's alone with the bomb. Valde's on his way, but with 3 versus 5 with these positions, how do you even, what is the plan? How do you run around out of this?
I don't know that you can. NRG are all over it. 1 player left. They're just being hunted down, just picked apart. This is kind of nuts. Imagine if there was a 16-0 James. Imagine. That's like something that's a lot harder to see now, especially, or even like the 16-1 or 16-2. Anything that's, it's just harder to see.
Scoreline.
Yeah, it's just harder to see that with the new economy changes.
I guess a better team is just a better team.
Yeah. Obviously, a 16-0 is still, you know.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it doesn't really change that, but
the max economy is max economy.
But just that it's so one-sided is pretty difficult to observe.
I think like if you can't get through the choke points on train, and I'm not talking one person bouncing to Olof, but more than that, then you know you're in for a hard time regardless of how much money you've got.
There we go.
Yeah, we have an opening frag. I don't know how many rounds they've got the opening pick. I would love to see that stat. I'm not sure if we can though, but Cirque see him with a quick re-peek, and Breeze is there to deal with things as well. And it is just running into the Gatling gun, man. Have you seen The Last Samurai of Tom Cruise when they all just run towards Gatling gun at the end? That's basically every round, it feels like, in this situation, but certainly this one. A UMP. At least it could try and pick something up in main, but maybe all the guns are on the outside. It's rough. It's like sandpaper on a naked ass. It's rough, man.
Oh my god. Everyone's got $16,000, James. All 5 players have $16,000 at the start of the round. You don't see that too often. You do not see that too often. What the hell is going on? 13-0, where a North?
Ooh. If you're crazy, get some money on North. If you're really crazy, if you've got money to waste, have a punt on gg.bet.
Well, can North pick up a single round here? Because it's not just that they're struggling to to put to win a round. It's just that it hasn't even looked close. Like they've even come anywhere close to picking up one. There was just like one 2v3 after plant maybe. That was kind of it. But that itself didn't look too convincing. And at this point, they've got to be tilted. This is not looking too good, but they will get themselves a 4 versus 4. Lacking the health, lacking the utility, but if they hit the shots, they can make it work. But they got to get through this, man. Cirque has been phenomenal, and he'll continue to find heads with that AWP as North start to push forwards on the bomb side. The bomb now offered up to Daps, and it's now just down to AZ and Valde.
And now it's just AZ on the site versus 3 players. The response from NRG is pretty solid there. Once they see North moving into the site, North get their first pick, somebody, I don't know who it was on NRG side, just drop a smoke from outside connector to make a wall between connector and the bomb train. And that allows his own teammates to rotate through connector relatively safely. Not completely, but relatively safely. Good positioning from Cirque as well. If he goes too far onto the other side of the train, then his legs will be seen like it's a really disadvantageous situation. He didn't do that. Obviously, he knows his angles being a sniper, and he played it pretty well. So they limited the options for North on that push, and it's 14-0, baby. We're looking pretty bad in the last round of the first half. We've got more UMPs coming out and a pistol for North, but maybe if they can get the numbers out of main, just maybe they can do something, or maybe not. Ethan with a different angle, playing on the corner of the smoke, but Kiabi will take his face off.
Ooh, with shot from Cirque, maybe there's a chance, but he's got a second chance at it, and he's not going to mess that one up. Cirque has been so damn good. That AWP is such a presence on this A-bomb side. It's so difficult to deal with. Kaden with a flash up high. He's got the UMP in hand. 2 players weak, though, so the UMP might not be as bad as you think, but at that range against the AUG, it's not happening. 15-0. I have not seen a 15-0 for a while.
Dreaming of being on the CT side.
Oh, my God. North, they got to win the pistol, man. They got to win the pistol, man. Otherwise, 16-0 would be pretty tough to swallow. That's a bad way to lose a series.
Early buffs. You could see Cirque was in the flow state towards the end there. Stark difference from the beginning of this series. Just smoothly going from shot to shot. Marvelous stuff. As far as NRG are concerned, as far as North are concerned, let's see if we can win the pistol. 1 round 15 times. Don't think of it as 15 rounds. That's what a sports psychologist might say. I am an unlicensed sports psychologist. I've got backstreet advice that is available. Send me a DM. My DMs are not open, of course. I'm just joking.
Well, NRG are not joking either, because they look bloody good right now. Can they do it, James? Can they do it?
I want to see. Do you know what? When we're on a cusp of a 16-0, I want to see a 16-0. At this point, it's more interesting than if a round is won, unless all the rounds are won by North. So I want to see a 16-0. I want to see carnage. I want to see borderline depression. AZ, it's his turn to be in the pop dog position, and that will work out for him. Valde's been taken out upper B. Will there be a rotation? There are 2 players in connector for North, with 1 player deep in B. The bomb, I don't know if it's been spotted at the moment. Daps is slowing things down. Maybe that will spread North out a little more. There are 2 players with grenades for NRG. Daps has a smoke grenade. Does he throw it as a fake towards Ivy, maybe? Or does he go towards B with it? 2 men jumping down. That's a big frag onto AZ. I don't know if the bomb was there as well, but it is in pop dog now. We see, I believe, a smoke towards that Ivy position, and now they will spread towards A.
Yeah, I love that smoke, the way it covers them out of pop dog. Beautiful pistol strat coming in from NRG. Short and sweet. Very simple. And this is not looking good now for North. They are looking like they might be 16-0 very shortly here. Kaden and Kirby, can they save some amount of pride here? Or is it all going to be washed away?
It's coming, Dad!
Oh, it's hard to watch.
Give it to me. I want it all.
There it is, Cirque, of course. 16-0. NRG, would you have anticipated that one?
It's an overdose of calories, coronaries all over the place. Bring the stretchers to Shanghai because North just got bodied. Marvelous stuff. That's a great way to...
What do you say about that, James? What do you... I mean, it's not... I mean, obviously, the desk will have to go into a bit more detail, but I don't... What do you say about that?
Absolutely. Spank. Some people pay for a service like that, but they got it for free, baby. After very back and forth games of Inferno. I completely forgot what the second map was, Dan. Dust 2. We get to Train, and it was the final deletion. Thanos clicked his fingers, and half the server was gone, man.
That's
Taken
so
in
weird.
smoke.
If you look at the first 2 maps, it's so weird that that's the way that it happens.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like, I don't know if any of you played like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back in the day, but the Hulk would like go into space and just take part of a planet and just like smash people with it. And I feel like that's what would just happen. Just sort of like that Gamma Crush, man. Just buried into the earth. Just mouths full of soil and pieces of grass and stuff. Just like, I don't know, just absolutely desecrated, man. I don't know what to say. It was, again, I expected a strong performance from NRG if they started on the CT side. I was more looking towards Cirque. I wasn't looking towards like final deletion.
Final deletion.
So I don't know what to say, but maybe James knows what to say with the panel on the desk.
You do know what to say, James. I've just had it in my ear that NRG are now being arrested in China for bullying and just destroying, pretty much raping an NRG when it comes to that, because it was a literal, brutal, savage kind of performance coming out for them, right? NRG looking so good on trade, better than we ever expected. I have no words for it, because it wasn't like North gave us anything that we went, yeah, okay, you're trying this, you're trying that. We saw a tactical pause come out at the 10th round. But by then it was already looking too bleak for him. Where do we even go, Pim?
It seemed like North didn't have any response to the aggression coming out from NRG. They were playing very aggressive, very assertive. Cirque, being constantly posing with the AVP close in towards T-main. Tarek being very aggressive to Pop Dog. In general, NRG was taking a lot of map control from North, and you could just see that they didn't have any answer to how to gain that map control. They went towards Ivy, they went towards inside, they tried to do fast rushes outside, they tried to play more slow. Anything they'd put on NRG, they were just completely okay with, so to speak. So that was a very dominant performance for NRG. I think they can be proud of the way they played. As you said, when you lose 16-0, obviously everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody's fragging, nobody's showing up, and North didn't have anything that went their way.
It is pretty unreal. Like, for quite a significant period of time there, you had single players on the side of NRG out-fragging the entirety of the North team.
Yep.
I think at one point they didn't even have like a frag per round.
So you had, it was 13-0, you had 18 frags total for North, and Cirque was on 18 for just himself.
Yeah, I think actually to end the game, Cirque ended up with more frags than all of North. It's a game where everything goes wrong, but it's also a little bit disappointing that you don't see, again, we talked about like how adaptation is going to be crucial in terms of, well, more so than what kind of information you know about your opponents going into the game. It's how you actually respond to what's being thrown at you. North did it absolutely horrible job of doing anything about that. Like, yeah, they went towards Ivy, they went towards Inner, tried to go down Pop, but it's like you haven't really addressed any of the issues when you're going to these new areas. It's like, and my biggest issue is the fact that it's not like NRG busted out some new revolutionary way to play Yard, because, I mean, we've seen so many teams have an aggressive offer plays towards main. We've seen, like, people standing inside of Pop Dog. We've seen people getting flashed into aggressive positions to get map control as a CT. The reason why you're seeing it not happen, like, all the time is because other teams figure out how to deal with it. They set up for anti-flash positions, or they're good at actually denying that kind of space. North just didn't seemingly have practiced anything to actually combat that, and that baffles me in many ways, because when you see them play against a team like Avangard, like they did, leading up to this tournament, obviously it's online and everything, but still, it's just a very different look. So when they're being thrown, I guess, more default setups towards themselves, like they seem to be able to handle it a lot better. So you would imagine that they had some sort of a plan B. But
well, we'll find out what their other plans are going to be. We're going to have an interview that Frankie's got one of the NRG players with him now.
Are you Quebecois? Now, at StarSeries 6, you guys sent North home. And I feel like they probably wanted revenge on you today, but you denied them that, Daps. What was going on in those first 2 maps, though? It felt like no one really wanted to win.
Inferno, I felt like that was our map. We had a pretty good T side and threw a few rounds away. And then CT side, I think we played okay, but there were some rounds we got unlucky. We won our breezy flank boiler and could add 2 kills. And we messed up at B a lot. So I think overall we feel pretty good about the first 2 maps.
One of the things it was lovely to see, and I've just heard his laughter jangling down this hallway, is Cirque showing up. We didn't really see him on that first map. And then suddenly the AWPA came back on form, especially for that last map. Your first 16-0 ever, right? So how did Cirque get back into the game?
I think just having Tarek on the team really helps sort of bounce back from a tough loss like the first map, because it's always tough when you lose close matches like that. So I think winning on Dust 2 is our first LAN win on Dust 2 ever as well, even with if you go back to the Fugly days. So I think just overall we feel pretty good, and Cirque bounced back.
And you've had about a month practicing with Tarek. How has he changed the dynamic of the team at your first LAN with him?
Just sort of more of a bubbly personality. Definitely if you're down, it's a lot easier to come back, which is one of the main reasons we wanted to pick him up, on top of him, winning a major and having that experience. And also he's very vocal in the team, so that sort of helps our CT sides a little bit more. Not in Inferno today, but generally our communication's a lot better.
Can you give me an example of what he was saying? Because you must have been down after that first map.
I think it's just our dynamic's a little better now because we have more ideas floating around, whereas before it was just sort of more stagnant, or it could get more stagnant sometimes. So I feel like there's more ideas to pick and choose from, and then it's easier for me to call as well because I can choose what I think's best.
I was going to ask about the new economy update because it felt like maybe it came into effect in the first 2 games, but then in the last map it didn't really affect things at all. So how did you feel like it changed things, if it did?
I don't think it changed too much. I mean, obviously it's a little harder for us because they can always keep buying. But I mean, I don't think it changed too much in that match.
Daps, can NRG keep up this momentum here in China?
Yeah, for sure.
I love to see it. Right, let's head back to the Dessa, see what they made of that.
Thank you, Frankie. Now, an interesting discussion with Daps. Doesn't think the economy changes have made too much of a difference to what they're doing there. Likes what Tarek has brought to the team in terms of a bit more of that kind of punctuality, right? Because you do look at the team in NRG and they are quite all pretty chilled out players, right? Nothing too much to say there. So bringing that influence in to bring them back up when down, and it's proved to work out here straight away.
Yeah, and that's maybe something they need, a little bit more of a flamboyant guy to be, hyping them up and give them some extra motivation. I think everyone can agree to the fact that NRG have a higher skill ceiling now than they had before. Obviously, Tarek is a better player than Fugly individually. Whether it can work as a team, we weren't really sure of, but I think we got to see her and train what NRG can really perform if they're playing up to the very best, and that gotta be a very scary thought for all the other teams here at this tournament. If Cirque can keep up this level, I think NRG is instantly one of the favorites to win the entire thing. He's so impactful, he's so versatile in the way he plays, he's so aggressive, and he has a lot of impact, as you said as well. So if you have a Cirque in top shape, you have a Breezy, you have a Tarek, and you have a Nathan, or Ethan, or whatever he calls himself nowadays, to follow up with that, that's going to be a very scary prospect, even for the likes of ENCE and Na'Vi, and for that matter as well. So, I mean, there's no doubt that NRG have a higher skill ceiling now, and there's no doubt that they have a potential, to take that step on the next ladder, but we need to see it consistently, and we need to see Cirque consistently as well deliver, otherwise it's not going to happen.
And that's the thing, right? We spoke about Cirque being in that slump the last 2 games. He does certainly step up and deliver to the standards that he's needed to here for NRG. But looking at North, what must they be going through? Because the first 2 games were so competitive, and then you're completely out of it as we go on to our CS and Money highlights, where you can trade all your unwanted skins via CS Money's bot. But however, where do we even go with this for North? Like, how do you bounce back from this? Because there are games where you said, and we all said, oh, they're looking good. They're the potential ones to win this whole series. And then you go to Train, which is a map that statistically in the past they've been good on, and this time around, non-existent.
I would say I was more hopeful of North coming into this tournament before I ever saw them play at this tournament.
Yeah.
I think that's the only fair assessment of it because, I mean, yeah, they ended up winning Inferno, but that was a bit of a scrappy match from both sides where we don't really think any of the sides played particularly well. But there has to be a winner eventually.
Thanks to Valde.
Yeah, pretty much like Valde. Again, yeah, like I've gone very quickly away from having belief in North. I still have belief in Valde, but them as a unit, as a 5, no, just immediately killed my hopes of them doing anything, I guess, of note at this tournament that quickly. And it's, again, it might be unfair, but I mean, as an NRG, or as Daps said in an interview, that's the first time they've ever won a Dust 2 on LAN, period. That's your map pick, North. Like, you can't faff about that that badly. You're supposed to close that out in the 2-0, and obviously when you get into Train, at least like you need to be competitive, and that was just not competitive at all. And I can get behind, obviously, sometimes you run into players, like, again, superstar caliber players like Cirque, who just have their day, and it's going to be extremely hard to do anything about it. But you can still abuse other areas of the map. He's not going to be 5 places at once. Like, you need to be able to frag somewhat, and none of that. Like, they didn't even do the bare minimum to look, like a team that should be here.
It seemed too easy to like shake this foundation of North, as simple as it is. You, as you said, even though you're facing a Cirque that is playing up to some of the best Counter-Strike he's done the past 6 months, you cannot be that easily shaken.
Yep.
The entire foundation is falling apart because Cirque is having a good game. That can't be the truth. So North have a lot of soul searching. They have a lot of stuff to work on. That said, though, I mean, it could be a one-off game, right? It's still early to say in the tournament.
Yeah,
it could be that Train is just that one map, where they're
They've
facing
just
an
disappointed us so much, like over the
sure thing,
the
and
last
I'm not
year,
saying this was okay by North, but I wouldn't rule them out of the tournament yet, and I think NRG could potentially be one of the best teams that they're going to face in this tournament. So North and playoff is definitely still in play. NRG, they're just giving me hope that they could go all the way.
I guess it is a bit of a result for me, the fact that we have 2 teams that are very much, in a bit of a question mark stage, right? So we don't really know what to expect for NRG. We know that we've had super high hopes. Obviously, Cirque being in a bit of something. When they, again, like you said, when they hit their mark and everyone's playing well, NRG are an immediate favorite, or a finalist favorite kind of a team. They have that caliber to them. And I guess that might be why when you see how Train plays out, it makes me feel worse for North, because we don't really, obviously that's not instilled yet with us, with NRG. We just know what they can do, but we haven't seen it consistently. So I felt like North had a pretty good shot of actually coming out victorious from this series, but no, there is definitely truth to what Jacob was talking about.
And
NRG
I think as well, right? You got to look at what North have had here. They've had a pretty tough opponent to start off with compared to some of the other matchups that you're looking down here. You see Ents, they got away with a 2-0 against Team Spirit. Some of the matches close in true Ents fashion. They like to make sure that they'll take it right to the edge, right to the wire. We've got Tyloo versus Renegades going on the B stream at the moment, if anyone's interested in watching that. And then we're going to be covering FaZe Clan versus Pain, which is a lot of asterisks around it in both scenarios for it, but it should hopefully be
the return of Yanko.
Yes, Yanko's claim to fame to come in, take down some Brazilians, and see if he can still deliver on a server in some way as he waits for Guardian to hopefully make an appearance here in China.
Yeah, no, I think Guardian's on his way. He's just going to make the first day, which, that's great for Yanko. Gets to dabble in professional Counter-Strike once more. It's been a while. I think it's like Mad Catz 2014.
Yeah. Question is how much can he mess up in one day, right? It's going to be
how badly? Yeah, I know.
Don't humiliate yourself, basically.
You're going to go that route. I'm actually, I've got belief in my boy.
I think he's, considering the opponents, I think he's going to do stuff fine. Yeah. He should be.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun to see. I mean, he's never had a better, I guess, supporting cast around him. Now he gets to shine. He gets to be in the limelight.
They can just set him up, right? They're just like, so even go forward, do the damage, and then he just comes in and taps him. He's like, exactly. I am the god.
If he just buys a Mac 10 for all the Eco rounds, that kind of thing, just mops up that, still going to look nice on the scoreboard. Could say that he kept up with the rest of the squad. Just maybe put that in his contract when he's renewing for the coach.
Keep dreaming and move on.
Who knows? I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna hype Yanko up like no other man.
You did a good job here.
Yeah.
You guys can have a little bet between whether he's gonna be positive or negative on.
Are we going plus
KD?
10 frags, or over under kind of thing? We're gonna think about this before we get into.
Well, do you guys at home want a new skin? If you do, you can head over to Hellcase down below. You can also use the codes that are being offered up to you and get yourself some new skins. Maybe that's what Yanko's doing so he can look prettier on that server when we get into that game. But I believe that is us over and done with, at least on the desk for now. We will be getting to FaZe versus Pain very shortly. But until then, we'll be going to a break and we'll see you guys very shortly.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro. I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. great and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.